Yeah.
Go on then, Nick. Introduce me to Postify.
You've got it now, have you? Right, yeah, everybody. Basically, this is the Postify job posting platform. If somebody wants to hire a member of staff, I give them a password for this site, and then they have their own page. On this, they will go to pick the only option that we have at the moment, which is £299 plus VAT, to post your jobs everywhere. That's Indeed, Reed, Total Jobs, Monster, even onto the social media platforms. We simplified things by just having the one offering. Once they're happy with that, they click next, and that's where they get to a page where they actually structure the job. So they put down there where the job's going to be based, the title of the job. Also then they'll put in there whether it's going to be full-time, part-time, temporary or permanent. And then the salary information can be entered if they want to do so. If they don't and prefer to do it on experience, then they can type that in as well. So once they're happy with that, they then go to a cut and paste Word template box, which is where they put the advert. This advert will have keywords in that they're looking for, so they'll be looking for any experience in that sector, managerial roles, etc. They'll be looking for any qualifications that are relevant to the job. Basically, this is where the employer has the opportunity to attract the right candidate for the job. Once they're happy with that, they click next, and that leads us then to invoice them for the £299 plus VAT. Once they're paid, within 10 minutes that job is live on all the job posting platforms. And then basically when they scroll down on the left hand side of the screen, you can see behind me, they'll go to the section that says vacancies, and that's where the candidates start to appear. Now with that, it will list how many candidates have applied, it will show the candidate's CV and any contact information. There's a section there to make notes of any interviews carried out or any notes that the employer would like to make. And there's a simple flagging system. Red flag for unsuitable, blue flag for might be suitable, and a green flag for suitable, and we'll invite to interview. The beauty of this system is that all the red flag candidates can actually be highlighted, and a message can be sent to them saying thank you for your application, but on this occasion you weren't successful. And that is a really valued thing, I believe, in this system. A lot of candidates or applications, people for jobs, feel it's really frustrating that they don't get any feedback. Some employers, if it's not been a big uptake, will actually spend time and type in a message there, possibly give some pointers to let the candidate know where they maybe just failed slightly or whatever. Always a sensitive issue, but some employers do actually give a bit of valued feedback. Now once you've got to the section where you're hiring, you're inviting the people in for the interviews, again you can follow this up. You've got an HR department that can do the onboarding process with the candidates. Once you've got the correct candidate, you can use all those notes going forward. And again, another beauty of this system, you've already started to build up a CV of potential candidates for if you're recruiting again in the near future. So it's all encompassed in that one product, £299 plus VAT, no hiring fees and no commissions. So we are saving employers thousands of pounds.
Now, I find that interesting simply because the loaded question as far as I'm concerned is I'm looking at the wording. Now, you've already said that this will auto-select before any hiring manager sees the applications. It's doing it on a computer system.
There is an algorithm in there, yeah, which can be used to actually help in the sifting process. As an add-on, we can help in that process as well. Because we do have some employers that are putting jobs out there and we're getting 800 to 1,000 applicants per job. Some jobs which are niche jobs, you will struggle to get more than one or two applicants. But yeah, on the big ones, possibly like your warehouse operatives, people in distribution. There is a big sort of uptake.
Okay, so we actually have seen a lot of people searching for jobs in Manchester, Birmingham and London on the warehouse side. Generally speaking, if they're doing that, they may well be applying from a certain specific postcode, or they may be applying with a certain type of license. If there's an algorithm that's involved in sifting out those applications, does that mean to say that they need to be putting those keywords in a certain position on their application form to appear higher up in the ranking for the application?
Again, it's on the amount. On the ones where it's a more, specific role.
Yep.
I would say, they're going to be looking at those individually, so it's maybe not as prevalent. But if it's on somebody who's trying to get into work and into placement of work, possibly going for the jobs where there'll be multiples of people, then yeah, if you're trying to highlight some keywords, that really does help.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that you look through the application process, you look for the keywords that the business has used in the first 2 or 3 words of the job posting. If you're not sure what you're doing with those keywords, then ideally you would want to be checking out those words on Google to understand those words. Now, if we remember a few weeks back, we had somebody who came online with us in Wales and was asking about certain types of jobs, and we found the vampire. Now, a vampire is not something that I was expecting to see in the NHS. Presumably that had been a key word added by an employer that we would have to research normally to understand where the employer's coming from.
That was absolutely, we were amazed when we saw that, we really were. And yeah, it's, I think I actually put that as one of my backgrounds.
You did indeed. Absolutely true, folks.
We were so amazed that there were actually 2 positions for a vampire nurse in Wales.
Yes. It's encouraging.
I would say, if anybody is struggling with those keywords, obviously, if they come along to Zest, that's what we're here for. We're here to help people. If we can help in any way on the CV structuring, anything like that, on description of what you're looking for and what you've done, anything to break it down and make it easy for you, that's what we're here to help with.
Yes.
There's so many different aspects involved in trying to get a job. It's okay for those who've been in the job market for a long time, they get used to this, but when you're new into it, there's so many areas to cover.
I recently applied for a job on an electrical side of it, and I was looking for the key words, and there was one file, they wanted it on the CV, but my other details were a struggle to match to it. Okay, now this sounds really strange, but in recent meetings we've been talking about LinkedIn, we've been talking about how that works on the profile side. We had Jason Sperring of On Point Network talking about how to put profiles together, and in some ways the LinkedIn profile is not dissimilar to a CV, which is then uploaded onto a system like yours, and those keywords are so almost like a hashtag on social media to say recruit me, hire me. Yeah?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, nowadays people can access your information on so many different platforms. As we said to some people before, I think it was on a few weeks ago, we got a couple of different people on Zest, and one said that they've been using Facebook, and we mentioned what sort of content was on there that is visible, obviously, to a potential employer. And we got a bit of a pause for a moment, and then a reality that, oh yeah, there might be some content on there that we might want to just hide for a while or trim.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
You know, it is. It could be a point where you're nearly always being watched. If you put your name out there for a job post,
Yes.
it could be that people will look in other areas to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's quite relevant as well. I'm also thinking that, does it matter whether you're the first person to make the application on the system or the 30th out of 50 or 60?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, I would think going first or second would be difficult because the bar has not been set to a level so far. I've never really been involved in the sifting process right through to interview and onboarding. But I would think you have to have an open mind as a recruiter that from the start you must have a ranking system to say, right, the first person, if we're ranking 1 to 10, yeah, this first one really, quite good. We can't give them a 10 because there might be some better. But if we give them a 7, we know there's quite a bit of distance below of people that aren't going to attain that standard. But there is a little bit of scope to go a bit higher for anybody who does display better qualities.
So is that fitted into the automatic selection process that your recruiters are using?
No, it's not an element that's in that, and I would think that would be down to whether the recruitment team is either the business owner, possibly inexperienced, an HR advisor, an experienced individual, or a recruitment agent. All three of those use our platform, and the recruitment agents, they use our platform, and they obviously are very experienced. So 3 levels of experience there, and really I would say if you've got an HR advisor giving you some advice as a business owner, then pretty much got it covered. If you're doing it yourself as an employer, I think you need some input, but you're maybe not the best person to pick out the next individual for the job. And I've had some people, there was somebody only a few weeks ago, didn't set somebody on because they hadn't met one of the criteria, but the HR advisor advising said, look, they're meeting all your criteria except for that bit, but that's where you want the in-house training to be. They've not got the bad habits. So it really is a difficult sort of process, and some employers are good at looking at it. What I would say, if they are using an HR advisor or a recruitment team, they're going to be really, keyed up for making sure they're picking out the correct candidates.
One of the things we know from today's latest news is the 18 to 25-year-olds are struggling most, and also certain minority groups have also struggled more during the pandemic. So if you are in that situation of struggling with unemployment at this moment in time, as many are, what's the solution? Is there a solution from the job alerts side of it that may assist, or where's the best place to get your CV checked over?
Well, I'm not sure at the moment if job centres are open, but I would have thought that there'll be some online support for that as well, because obviously the government, it's in their interest to get people back to work, get the revenue going, and get the country moving. But there are a lot of organisations up and down the country which do offer support. Some are government-funded schemes, some are just charitable organisations.
If you're unemployed, there are the work coaches at the Job Centre Plus that have that particular remit that they are. And nationally, what they've done is in the last few months is they recruited from about October, November. They started recruiting a lot of work coaches to actually look at the issue of supporting people, and the sanction regime, to my understanding, about the job situation has been scaled back compared to what it was pre-pandemic, which is encouraging. And they've just changed over in the last 6 months on their recruitment process of applying for the jobs, etc. In terms of groups, there is nothing else compared to what we're doing here with Zest. Just to update you all, if you're watching this in any of the places where we're putting the videos, we're now having these videos on the website. You will not necessarily find them on YouTube. We retain the data from it, but you can't search Nick Dance of Zest on YouTube at this point in time, but you can find these videos on the website. So whilst we're having these great conversations, folks, you do need to be logging into Zest to actually pick up on what's happening, to actually get as much information and to fire those questions in. I know this is all relatively new to lots of people. I can tell you that we had an inquiry this week from one of our other contacts for a guy called John, who runs a business in Lincoln, actually messaged me and said, there are people that I know that need to get involved with Zest. He said, can we encourage them for their mental health? And I thought, now there's a thought. If you're struggling with your mental health and you're not getting your applications in, if you're back in work, that's going to really improve your health. You know, it really is. Is there anything else you'd like to add in, Nick, that could benefit people at this for today?
I mean, we put a post out on LinkedIn early last week to say, you know, any support from many other individuals. There's always people that are looking to do charitable gestures and help us on this quest to get people back to work.
Yep.
Such as possibly, like John said, obviously on well-being and things like that, but even on LinkedIn advice.
Yes.
You know, getting your profile right. Networking's one that is a big one for me, and I am meeting a few people at the moment who are unemployed who are networking, and that means that they're getting out and they're meeting employers.
Well,
and you just never know. It builds up your confidence, it keeps you motivated, and you might just land on someone who sees the potential within you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would add that On Point Network is regularly undertaking the LinkedIn profile assessment. If you see this video and you come onto an onpointnetwork.co.uk's website, you have the opportunity of joining, and inside there will be some videos specifically looking at LinkedIn as a media that Jason has done. And Jason's part of what's going on here. He's actually looking at things and supporting people as well. And those are regular meetings. And guess what? Like this, they're free, which is encouraging, particularly if you're struggling at the moment. Nick, what have you got planned in the coming weeks for the Zest meetings? Because you never cease to surprise us.
It just sort of, inspiration will come from nowhere. I've been on a networking today, and in a different area of the country, not too far away from here, there's a college that's set up a support group for getting adults back into work. So I'll be gleaning some information from that, and I guess next time we meet up, John, we'll be trying to put something on the bones to that and offer some help and advice.
Absolutely,
Say to anybody, you pose the questions to us. If we haven't got the answers, we'll know somebody who has got the answers, and we can come on here and, again, like John says, free advice.
Yeah, you don't actually have to give your name necessarily. Some of the questions I'll have written down from people that message me, and I'll actually throw the questions in. Nick and I will discuss, and any other recruiters that may want to get involved come into the conversation so that we can assist people. If you've seen this for the first time, we are sharing these video clips when they've edited down onto groups throughout the country. So if you know somebody who's unemployed in Birmingham and you're in, say, Newcastle, you'll find these videos are available. The link is to a video just so that they can see what may be on offer and may support them. Nick, I'm going to stop the recording today. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing what Postify is about, making us think about those questions, making us think about what the employer is putting out so that we can think about how we can respond to that communication.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, John, and look forward to meeting up next time.